Listen. Page out of a bloody notebook, it would be. The district... Dear me. The district secretary agreed to do all in his power to implement the just demand for tuppence on the hourly rate. And there's a few notes. I can hardly read them. By, he must have had a few when he wrote this.
Sign it.
Aye, signed and dated.
What are you going to do, Jack? Lose it?
You're learning. But it wouldn't work, Matt. There's 4 witnesses against us.
What are you going to do then, Jack?
The best I can. That's all that's left.
I said, you take me to the 3:30 in there, and I said, it came nowhere. But the deputy says, well, maybe you and me should change places.
Evening, brothers.
This is a private meeting, Brother Ford.
I hope so, Brother Poskett. It's a highly confidential matter.
And what have you brought your brother-in-law for?
I haven't brought my brother-in-law. This is Brother Headley, the Assistant Secretary of our union. I didn't bring him, Brother Poskett. He came here by himself. He's as much right here as any of us.
So, the Assistant Secretary. You've made your brother-in-law the Assistant Secretary, have you?
That's right.
Well, you've got your nerve.
You've got a bit of nerve yourself, as I remember, Brother Poskett.
Don't try and change the subject.
Not. A few months ago, a few of us saved a poor widow's furniture for her. You were one. You knew we risked prison. I even went to prison. But you turned up. Solidarity, Brother Poskett, to help the widow of one of our members.
You are trying to change the subject.
Now, listen, give us a chance. I got nabbed because I was still there when the police came. But Matt here was the last man out. Half a minute later, he would have been in Durham jail with me.
I'm not
3
saying he isn't...
campaign medals, mentioned in dispatches, an able and trusted non-commissioned officer used to dealing with men's problems. Good union man, fully paid up all his life, and risked his liberty for one of his own. Certainly I chose him. I was proud to choose him.
And if you don't like it, Poskett, we can step outside and I'll knock your plug off. No, Brother Headley. There'll be no violence. Till after the meeting. Away and sit down.
You two are the funniest thing since the Keystone Cops. Good evening, Brother Ford.
Evening, Les.
Nice of you to spare the time.
Union business, brother. There's nothing more important. Let's hear what you have to say.
I'm the convener of this meeting, Brother Ford, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, then. Convene.
Brothers, we are here this evening to discuss the possibility of an improvement in our basic rate. 2 pence an hour. But, Brother Ford, we already met your predecessor, Brother Norman Taylor, and it was agreed then that we could and should have this thing. And he said he would add his backing as a full-time union official. Now, this is a position which you and your brother-in-law have inherited.
Steady on, Les.
Just a minute. First off, I want to know from you, brother, whether you're going to lead us in this fight. Whether you're going to honor the obligations of your office.
Bah, you've picked up some grand words, Les. Real educated words.
Answer his question, Brother Ford.
Which one? Lead you in a fight or act like a union official?
It's the same thing.
Maybe. Brother Headley and me, we haven't got much time for reading. We're not scholars. We're practical men like yourselves. And being practical men, we like to know what we're talking about.
We're talking about money. Nigh on 8 shillings a week. Well?
Go on, brother, I'm listening.
We don't want you to listen. We want you to say something.
Do you? Brother Mallow?
Well, you're our leader. Lead us.
Cards on the table.
All the cards, Brother Ford.
You haven't left us that many to play. First off, you'll never get tuppence an hour.
Now, just a minute.
And you knew that when you and poor old Norman first decided to give it a try.
Less of the poor old Norman. He was a good man.
Where did you dream this one up, brothers, eh? You and Norman? The Green Man, the Boilermaker's Arms, the Blue Bell?
Meeting in the pub was Norman's idea. He said these were exploratory talk.
Oh, did he now?
So it was better to meet away from the office light.
The pub was his office, man, you know that.
We were all sober.
Including Norman. There's Norman's record of your meeting. Not all that easy to read, but you can smell the whiskey.
All right, sometimes Norman did get carried away.
You're right there. Sometimes it took 2 good men to carry him.
Now then.
Brother Ford's right, you know. You and me have done it ourselves in the past, Brother Poskett.
And why did you do it?
Because he was a good man, sober, a caring man.
Aye, he was. And a good union official. I was made a note here, Brother Mallow. Well, maybe you'd like to read it for us.
What it looks like, ask for twopence, take a penny.
Is that the way it was? Cards on the table, brothers.
What are you after?
Money for my members.
Money. You really want a headache, Ford?
Maybe I won't be the only one.
All right. Let's hear it.
I've worked out a few figures.
Been doing your homework, have you? Yeah. Do you believe everything you read in the Financial Times?
You're not saying an organ of the capitalist press tells lies?
Certainly not. They could be misled.
By you?
By me, by you, by anyone in our position. Quite inadvertently, of course. We're shocking, Mr. Headley.
You're shocked, Matt.
Well, I started this game a bit late. I'll play better when I learn the rules.
There aren't any, Headley. That's what makes it so difficult. What are you asking?
My committee wants twopence an hour.
Two things I liked about you, Ford. Your brains and your courage. Whatever happened to your brains?
It's good of you to see me again so quickly.
Not at all. Gather it's urgent. You haven't brought your reinforcements.
Matt's mind in the office. This is confidential and all.
You suffered a bereavement, Ford.
Today is the 25th.
I'm aware of it.
8 years ago today, we had 60,000 casualties at Wipers. Matt and me feel we should mourn the good men that died.
Like my son.
That was a song. I was there.
And do you mourn them? Or does it help to make your members like you?
Bit of both, Sir Horatio. Farthing an hour's not on.
Best I can do.
And I'll tell you why. If you don't make it a penny, I'm out of a job.
Oh, it won't be for long,
And
Ford.
if I'm out of a job, you'll get Les Mallow instead. He's a wonderful fellow, Les, very strong on conscience. Went to prison for it during the war.
Conscientious objector.
Aye. They knocked hell out of him in prison. Oh, I always knew they had, but since I've been there myself, being in the army must have been a picnic to what he got. But it hasn't changed him. Nothing will. He'll come here yelling for twopence.
Why?
Oh, maybe he'll settle for a penny, maybe not. But even if you give him a penny, he'll be back for more.
If he doesn't get it?
He'll strike. Fancy a strike, do you, Manners? Just after you've promised your shareholders a not unreasonable dividend.
Still quoting the Financial Times. That interview was a mistake.
We all make them.
Won't you strike?
You're not hearing me. Either I get that penny or you get Les Mallow and he strikes.
You're being very honest all of a sudden.
I have to be.
So you make honesty a weapon.
That's right.
You're still asking a hell of a lot.
I know that. I'll owe you one, Manners.
You owe me? What?
When the time comes, we'll both know.
Have to be a big one.
I wouldn't doubt you. But if you turn me down, I'll be back down there again. I won't owe you a thing. And even if I did, there'd be no chance of paying it.
The big one?
Big as you like, as long as we make it look respectable.
Oh, of course. There's an Employers' Federation meeting this evening. But naturally you knew that. Just as you knew that if Lewis Bishop agreed to your terms, the rest would follow. All right. Penny an hour.
Thanks.
To be paid for. Later. Funny that. We trust each other.
We'll have to. Nobody else would.
Bereavement, is it, Brother Ford?
Wipers, Brother Poskett, 60,000 dead, and some of them marrows, comrades in arms, and today's the day we remember them. Matt and me, we don't forget.
That war's over, Brother Ford.
Aye, and thanks to our glorious dead, we won.
Very touching. Who was it that said that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel?
Long words, Brother Mallow. School teacher's words. I spent a lot of the day with a man who gave his son for his country. A son that died in my arms. This man's a capitalist. Maybe he's even a millionaire. Sir Horatio Manners, chairman of Lewis Bishop. And I'll tell you this, and I'm not ashamed to say it. He and I knelt in prayer for the sake of a good man gone.
Was your prayer answered, brother?
I don't know about mine, Les, but yours was. A penny an hour, brothers, as from the first week in January.
And we thought you'd join the bosses. Hey, man, I'm proud of you.
Join the bosses? You've upset me, Brother Poskett. I might have to see a lot of them, but I don't forget me friends. Here, have a boss's cigar. Compliments of Lewis Bishop and Company.
I don't smoke.
You should, Les. Would help you relax.
Perhaps I made a mistake. I've come to take her home.
Aye, Mr. Ashton, you take her home. She doesn't belong here. Not anymore.
The doctor thinks it might be septic. She came to the hospital for tests on Monday. If it is septic, then the hand will have to come off. Maybe it's half an arm and all.
Dear God. Still, it mightn't come to that. I mean, if he's not sure.
He was sure, all right. He was just covering his bets. I was going to get married next week.
You'll get married, lad. You'll just have to postpone it for a while, that's all.
What use would I be doing now? How could I provide for her? A one-armed man?
We'll find you something, Harry. You've still got your right hand.
Clarkin, maybe?
Didn't nobody ever tell you, Mr. Ford? I was left-handed.
No, son. Nobody ever told me. I'll fight for every penny I can.
I'll need it, won't I?
And you'll get it. You can rely on me.
Oh, I do, Mr. Ford. I do.
Naturally, we require character references and evidence of financial stability, but the only real impediments, other than those of religious difference, are bankruptcy, lunacy, and...
Bankruptcy, lunacy, and imprisonment, none of which I feel sure can apply to you.
We'll never get a bed now.
We'll find another way.
Oh, be honest, Jack, there isn't another way. You went to prison, man. I know it was to help a widow on her bed, but you still went insane.
28 days. A debt to society, they said, and I thought I'd pay it. And once you start paying out, folks always come back for more. Till you make them stop. You know, I couldn't understand why you stayed down here instead of going back there. But now I know. You and a few of your mates did a job up there. A big one. And you took off with all the money. And they've been looking for you ever since. With these. Well, now they know where to find you. I made sure of that.
Well, kill me.
You're lucky we didn't.
Oh, bugger off, man, while you can still walk.
Wait a minute. How much did he have out of the till?
£3.
Well, that's 4. Ta. And that'll pay for my window. Now, bugger off.
You knew this Glasgow gang was after that fellow?
Aye. Since I spoke to the Glasgow District Secretary this morning. He knows a lot of funny fellas up there. And some of them have been looking for McNeil for weeks. Well, now they know where to find him.
So we didn't have to fight at all, did we? A threat would have been enough.
Him and his mates deserve more than threats.
They got it. But you had no right to risk it, Jack. You could have got hurt.
Any of us could.
I'm talking about you. If things had gone wrong, you could have been slashed or lost your job.
Chance I had to take.
That's what I thought, Noel, but I was wrong.
Hell, man, you wanted this fight.
When I thought there wasn't another way. But there was, and you knew there was. You had no right to do it, Jack. No right. Our Dolly relies on you. Harry Duffy, and a hell of a lot like him.
I have to wrap myself up in cotton wool now, have I?
Yes, Jack, you have. As long as Fort needs you.
Matt, it was just a fight. You're coming home?
No, I'm not.
And your Dolly thinks we haven't got a bairn.
I mean, she really did. Trusted me like.
You went to bed?
Bed. Me greatcoat spread out in a water meadow. Buttercups for a pillow. There was a bird singing. She said I imagined it, but it was real.
She took my razor, Mr. Ford. Cut her throat. Only she didn't know the way to do it right. God help Mr. Ford. She didn't.
Look, I really am sorry, kidder. It's my life, you know.
Is it? Not Mum's, not Da's, not mine, just yours, eh?
Look, why are you so keen on us being a specialist anyway?
Because that way we thought you might pay Da back.
I want to pay him back.
Billy, we thought you might cure him. There's a fella looking for you. Foreign fella. Name's Kaganovich.
His name's what?
Why, it's Kaganovich, someone like that. Jewish fella from Russia. Says he knows you.
5 years since I was in Russia, Tom. I met a lot of people. Didn't keep an address book either.
Says you can help him.
Aye, half the town thinks that. His hand's never out of his pocket.
In Russia, you can learn everything there is to know about death.
You're saying you can take the three of us?
I'm not so foolish. You'll defeat me, of course. But one of you will die. Maybe even two.
They'd hang you for that.
But you would still be dead. Put my book back in the case, please.
Dr. Stoker, he practices in Wellesley Street. And what he practices is poverty, although he took no vows. I admire you and I wish you well, but my comfort's important to me.
It's good of you to see me.
Not at all, not at all. I hope you enjoyed the plum cake.
Yes, thanks very much. Almost as good as me mother makes.
I'll show you the way it's...
This is Kerensky money.
That's right. Like I said, I doubt if he'd get to Palestine on that. I doubt if he'd get to Gateshead.
Kerensky money?
Kerensky formed the government in 1917. They issued money for a while. It is worthless.
That's right. I was taken for a mug, Mr. Kaganovich.
Were you? Or are you taking me for one?
Oh no, it's your dad's money, all right. He signed it. He was real crafty. Look.
This money was stolen from me by Sergeant Ford, an Englishman, Vladimir Leon Kaganovich.
Took me in real proper, your dad did. You recognize the writing?
It is my father's. Once I would have killed you.
Let's go and have a drink. Just a quick one, though, Tom. And you better get off home to your mum.
Think I need looking after, do you?
No, bonny lad. I think she does.
Wasn't too good last night, was I? I wouldn't say that, Matt. I wouldn't say that at all. Very much?
All I need. Tommy and me. That's what I can do, Jar. Make things grow.
You'll be stopping here?
Aye, as long as I'm wanted.
Oh, you want it, all right. Great's the hump. Bloody red.
Socialist, Dad, same as you.
Aye. Well, I've been thinking about that.
Have you now?
What did Mr. Mallow want?
Came to tell us some things about Jack Ford.
What about Jack?
Murmansk.
Eh?
Russia, ma'am. Seems like a wonderful Jack hasn't always been such a hero.
Well, nobody is. And it's none of our business, now you remember that.
I'm not so sure.
But you better be.
You shut the shop, have you?
Aye, I took 4 and 7pence. No tick. Les Mallows up to his ears in muck. There's no call for you to go and join him.
I wouldn't say that.
You went in the Blue Bell last night. I was.
You don't seem to have done much to stop it, then.
Well, there wasn't much I could do. Anyway, Jack can handle it. And if he cannot, he knows where I live. But mind, you keep out of it.
Suppose I don't.
Then I'll hammer you, Billy boy. I'll hammer you flat.
If I was Jack, I'd belt you, could you know? Wouldn't make any difference, Matt. You'd still use what I told you.
Hey, come on, can I get you Mr. Headley?
No, thanks.
Got to be off.
I'd like to take him by the hand and say thank you very much. Charlton still hasn't got the strength to lay a finger on us.
Still at it, are you, Jack?
Me? Respectable union officials don't get into fights.
No, they don't. But you do.
Still, bit of good came out of it.
But you didn't know, did you? And you didn't care. If I was a man, I'd hit you myself.
You'd end up with a black eye, Bunny lass. I've just belted a fella. Time was, that would have done me more good than whiskey. Not anymore. Go to bed, Dolly.
It's only 10 o'clock.
We'll have an early night.
Jack, we won't...
Belt him. You go to bed. I've had me fight for the day.
That's all we've got, you know, Jack.
I do know. Head away to bed.
A word, I said, and that's all. And don't let me catch you out again tonight.
I won't, Mr. Armstrong.
See ya.
I won't let you catch us. Come to preach, have you?
Me? Never in the world, Miss...
Caravers, Fleur Caravers.
That's funny. I thought your name was Daisy Mallow.
What are you after?
Oh, just a chat for you. Maybe a drop of this, eh? Howdy. It's a funny thing, that. Last night in London, I met a lass called Fleur. Only one time her name was Daisy. And that's a flower and all. Isn't that
You're
funny?
rotten.
Don't start anything. I'll enjoy it, Les. You won't. Sit down. This, Fleur is a working girl, Les. Night shifts, mostly. 20 quid a week. Sometimes more. Mind you, she sends a bit home to her brother.
That's for my mother, damn you. How can I give me mother when I'm out of work?
Does your mother know what your Daisy's up to?
No, of course not. She thinks she's in the service.
Well, like those two fellas in that story, Les, maybe you've heard it. There's this preacher, like that could be you, Les, and then there's this randy soldier, like that could be me. And the soldier sees the preacher talking to these tarts, and he says, "What are you doing, Reverend?" And the preacher says, "I save fallen women." And the soldier says, "Well, save one for me, will you?" Do you get it, Les?
Yes, I get it.
You're living on immoral earnings, Les, and so's your mum.
Of course I want you. But you've just qualified. You can do a bit better than this. Go on.
I'm staying.
You want to be an idiot, then?
Why not a saint?
Oh, takes time to be a saint. Got to work at it.
200 a year, you say?
Payable quarterly.
How much work for that?
It depends on the accidents. Could be night for a month, and you'll be at it round the clock. Just don't know.
Round the clock?
You're not afraid of a bit of work, are you?
Well, it's not that. It's just I've got a job.
Who with? You're just you never said.
I've just started with Dr. Stoker.
Stoker? Why, the Good Samaritan.
Is that what they call him?
Either that or a bloody fool. You're not get fat on what he pays you.
He needs me, Jack. He needs all the help he can get.
How much are you getting?
You're a cod for me dinner. Look, can I think it over?
Is that the polite way to say no?
Well, it's just I'm needed, you see.
No, I don't see. Thank God. You sure you won't change your mind?
No, thanks.
Then have a sandwich.
Well, it was a struggle putting him through college. My husband was a pitman, you see, till he had his accident, and money was hard to come by, but we managed somehow.
It does you great credit, Mrs. Seaton.
Oh, I don't want credit. Not for myself. I just want our Billy to get on.
I think he has begun very well.
Do you? I don't. He'll end up with nothing.
Jesus had nothing. Sell all thou hast and give it to the poor. Dr. Stoker has done that, and so have I. Why not your son?
He's given to the poor what isn't his to give.
Your need for him, you mean?
I mean his debts. To his father, to his brother.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors is a fairly accurate translation. Can you not forgive your sons?
Look, all I want for him is to have a job that pays. He can have this one as well.
So he told me. Unfortunately, God needs him here full time.
Our Billy doesn't believe in God.
God still needs him.
Ah, you're a hard one, aren't you? To take a son from his mother.
Jesus also said, "Who is my mother?"
Aye. And he said, "Woman, behold thy son," and all. He was hanging on the cross when he said that. Do you have any children, Vicar?
A daughter.
And do you love her?
Yes.
Then what would you do if she said to you, "Who is my father?"
If she said it in the way that our Lord meant it, I should say thank God.
Aye, I believe you would and all. So you'll do nothing to help our Billy?
Believe me, Mrs. Seaton, I am helping him.
Hard all through?
Quite a career.
I've talked me head off. Like I was drunk or something.
I'm good at making people talk.
Aye. Too good.
I promise I won't tell. On a bright. Miner, soldier, burglar, sheep stealer. Quite a career.
You forgot jailbird.
And now, like Candide, you cultivate your garden.
I cultivate other people's. That reminds me, I've got a job on for you.
Please, don't let us go yet. I like talking to you. I like it very much. I'd like some whiskey, please.
Make that two.
Yes, sir.
About Joe Hodgson.
He sends you his apologies. And this.
And what on earth is that?
A pawn ticket, Miss Courtney, from a pawn shop in the Mile End Road.
Silver cigarette box. It was a gift from my father. He wanted it in Gymkhana in India years ago. It's very dear to me.
You're fond of your father?
It's hardly your business. I love him very much.
You're fond of Tom Seaton and all?
I beg your pardon.
You're driving him daft, but then you know that.
My dear man.
A lady, he said. Like something out of a dream. Are you going to put that in your notebook and all? That's all right.
Thank you, sir.
You could always have me thrown out, you know.
I may have to. But not yet. You interest me. Please. Go on.
Joe Hodgson was right. Pretty and charming and scared and out. You're a collector, Miss Courtney.
You're being enigmatic. Such fun.
A collector of chaps who've gotten out.
I think you're confusing me with my father.
No, your father collects the sick, the lame. You like them healthy, Miss Courtney. Big and strong and, what would your word be now? Vulnerable. With a few stories to put in that notebook of yours. And maybe next year they'll bob up in a novel you've written.
You're very perceptive. But what on earth do you want?
Put Tom in your novel by all means. You'll never read it anyway. But lay off him, Miss Courtney. You don't belong here. Go home.
I have an appointment with Mr. Seaton tomorrow.
Break it.
Why should I?
Because if you don't, I'll tell your father what Joe Hodgson told me.
About what, Mr. Ford?
About you, Miss Courtney.
He wouldn't believe you.
Oh, I think he would. I'm a very persuasive sort of fella.
You are indeed. Tom really does have an appointment with me tomorrow.
I know. To tell you where Joe Hodgson is, he asked me to find out.
What will you tell him? Tom might be rather persistent.
Oh, I said Joe's gone deep sea. Now, that means a long voyage, Miss Courtney. If I tell him that, there'll be no trouble.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm Tom's marrow, Miss Courtney. That means his friend. I'm not going to stand by and watch while you chew him up and spit out the pips.
Such devotion. It's quite touching. All right. I shall leave your precious marrow unsullied.
Have you paid him?
He hardly regards himself as a gigolo.
I thought he was doing the job for you.
No. Dad, I'll see that he's paid.
Well, that's it then. Good night, Miss Courtney.
I say. Wouldn't you like to be in my notebook?
Not tonight, Miss Courtney. Get yourself one with more pages and we'll see. Let's have the bill.
I beg your pardon?
I must have got through £1 worth of food and drink, maybe even 30 bob. You don't give that kind of money away for nothing. So what do you want, Sir Horatio?
You know I like doing business with you. Nowadays I spend most of my life dealing with gentlemen, sensitive chaps. I have to be so damn careful not to hurt their feelings, forget what I'm after half the time.
Oh, aye.
Last year we agreed you owed me a favor.
That's right.
I want you to pay it back. Well?
Let's hear what you want.
There's a firm called Buell Hodge Limited.
Mid-Tyne Trading Estate, make car components. Nice little firm.
Nice.
They pay 10% over the minimum, that's nice.
I don't.
You're not nice.
Any more than you are. Want you to slow them down.
You want me to what?
You heard. A week will do it.
Why?
My business, Ford.
All right, then how?
Any way you like.
Blank check, like.
Blank check.
How much do you want them slowed?
Just enough so they can't fill their contracts.
I see.
I've no doubt you do.
If I slow them, we're all square. You're off me back.
You won't owe me a damn thing.
I better slow them then. Mind if I look around?
Help yourself.
Lavatories?
Right at the front.
Where do they heat that tea?
Over there.
First aid equipment?
My office.
Let's have a look then.
Yeah. I've got the key.
Frightened they'll drink the surgical spirit. You do have surgical spirit. How many labourers do my members have? Don't be daft, man. I can always ask Andy Cranford.
3.
I see.
There's 2 away sick.
Sick?
Aye. There's been no accidents here.
I'm glad to hear it, Mr.
Beasley.
Glad to have met you, Mr. Beasley. You've been a great help.
Very pally with Andy Cranford all of a sudden.
He's young and keen, Matt. You could do with a bit of encouragement.
What about the number 5 branch report?
First thing when I get back, Matt, honest.
I'll be in the office then.
Miss Laidlaw.
Shut the door.
Now, I want to send a wireless message, Miss Laidlaw.
Yes, Mr. Ford.
To the United States of America.
The United States?
Now, keep your voice down. Miss Laidlaw, you like Mr. Headley, don't you?
Oh, yes, Mr. Ford.
Well, I'm working on a little surprise for him to do with his work.
A pleasant surprise, I hope.
When he finds out, he'll be bowled over. Only, I can't explain it to you, but you'll keep it a secret, won't you?
Oh, yes, Mr. Ford.
Good, lass. Now, it's to Harold C. Limbacher.
Oh.
Limbacher, American Federation of Labour.
But how'll I send it?
We'll try the telephone. And if they won't have it, take it to the post office. Now, where was I?
Harold C. Limbacher, American Federation of Labour. Mr. Headley isn't leaving us, is he?
Believe me, Miss Laidlaw, as long as I'm here, Mr. Headley's here with me. Now, look, there's the address in the book. There, see? Now, here's the message. Dear friend and brother, fraternal greetings from the Amalgamated Fitters Union, Galashield,
It's going
England.
to cost a lot of money.
We're not discussing money, Miss Laidlaw. This is the solidarity of the working class. Honour your agreements, Mr. Buell, and you can be bigger than Henry Ford.
A week then. Just give me a week and I'll have the builders in round the clock.
You do that, Mr. Buell. And in a week's time, you can have my men back.
Damn it, man. I've got commitments.
Ah, you have. Honour them and we can all go back to work.
Suppose I hired non-union labour.
Scabs? The only men within a 50-mile radius who can work those machines of yours are my members. And you know it. In the army, were you?
Yes, I was. Joined in 1915. I served right to the end.
The end? Mr. Buell, whatever made you think the war is over?
Oh, you've done more than enough already. As I say, you don't owe me a thing.
I'm closing you down. And not your shipyard, just the factory on the trading estate.
Damn it, man, I'm expecting orders.
From Coventry, I doubt it, not when they hear this news.
All right, I'll put something on the basic. Not 10%, that's commercial suicide, but I might manage 5 or even 7.5.
You could offer 100%. I'd still close you down.
Let me give you a word of advice, Ford. Spite and business don't mix.
You mean I should be a good loser like you? You're the worst loser I've ever met, apart from myself.
Ah. You want something. Is that it?
What would I want?
Money.
Used £1 notes.
If you like. Or why not an account on a Swiss bank?
For Buell Hodge?
There'll be others.
Maybe, but not this time, Manners.
Oh, there'll be no risk.
That's where you're wrong. You're using Klugman machines out at Wimborne, aren't you?
I believe so.
You know so. You know every damn thing you own.
Very well, I own 23 Klugmans.
Bought second-hand, bankrupt stock as new.
You're remarkably well informed.
I have to be. Those machines aren't safe.
Whose word have I for that, apart from yours?
Klugman's.
Go on.
After a while, say 20 months or 2 years, the safety grill goes. Goes off like a bomb.
Klugman's told you this?
The American Federation of Labour sent me their report. Fraternal help, as you might say.
You wrote to them?
Not a letter. A wireless message. You're going to have to get new grills fixed.
It'll take a week at least.
That's what Buell Hodge said and all.
You've boxed me rather neatly, haven't you?
Not me.
Oh, come forward.
Matt Headley.
Your assistant?
That's right.
That must have been something of an embarrassment for you.
I'll survive.
You usually do. Even so, I can see I shall have to keep an eye on Headley.
I'm doing that already. Thanks for the cigar.
This lot should come in handy for the bonfire.
Bonfire?
Aye, your vicar's organising it. St. Thomas's Sunday School treat for the bairns. Bonfire to finish up.
You taking Tommy?
Me? With chapel. You know that, Jack. I wouldn't mind seeing it go up, though. Hey, what in the world's a parson doing starting a bonfire?
Maybe he wants to act fine for a few chapel goers. Where is it?
Oh, it's that bit spare ground up the road. I got a canny bit stuff there already. Best place to get rid of this lot.
Do you think's best, Tom? You're O.C. the garden. I see you've got your apprentice.
Aye. That missus of yours, she's daft on him.
Ah, he's a canny little fella, all right.
If you think I shouldn't bring him.
None of my business, Tom. Do you think's best?
I like bringing him. He needs the fresh air. Ever since his mum died of TB, I've been wondering why I suppose it's in him and all.
Then you bring him.
You should be thinking of putting a few croissants in.
Should I?
I know we can let your hands on a few clippings.
You know, or your da knows. You're not the one for doing deals in the Seaton family. Are we?
What would I give today just to hear someone softly sing?
Alec Lawson, 3rd Battalion man. He must have heard I got home early. He got that lot of wipers.
Here, Jack, give him the snow.
Save your money, Tom. This'll do for Alec.
I never went to France, Jack. God knows enough people have told us. This is earned money. He's the only one entitled to say whether he wants it or not.
Ah, you're right, bonny lad. Thanks.
Now I've found someone like you.
You going to open a salon or something? Madam Dolly's Modes?
For the dinner, you daft thing.
What dinner?
That posh do that you're taking us to at the Royal Saracen? I'll have to have a proper evening dress.
Oh, you will, but it won't be one you've made yourself.
Don't tell me you're going to buy us one.
Looks as if I'll have to. I gave up thieving a long time ago. Anyway, I don't think sheepskins have been worn this year.
Jack, they're terribly expensive.
You're my wife, Dolly. It's up to me to make sure you're as good as the rest.
Ah, Sir John and Lady Ford, eh, Jack?
Give us time, Bonnie lass. Don't rush us.
Where's Matt?
Oh, there's a branch meeting. He's taking it.
I thought you
I've got a cold coming.
Oh, have you? Can I get you something?
I've got all I want, and it's not a cold. Matt will manage. I just fancied a bit cuddle with a dressmaker, that's all.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You seen anything of the Seatons, Jack?
I saw Bella pushing Bill home and I left the office. Why?
I think you know why.
Oh, so you've heard, have you?
Aye. Tom told us when he was doing the garden. Jessie Ashton's had a baby.
Arthur William Ashton, poor little clot.
Jack, that's not a nice thing to see.
Isn't it? Suppose he takes after his father. You're thinking you're second best again, is that it?
I can't help it, Jack. You know I can't. Because it's true.
Is it?
You know it is.
It better not be, Pet, because if it is, we've got no life at all.
They won't be so very bad, will they, Sir Horace?
None of them actually eat with their fingers. Not even the trade unionist.
The what? Oh, no. No. Sorry, Manners. Willing to help. But we can't have the Reds in. Well, I'll have to swallow the mulligatawny and the tin pineapple and vomit in decent privacy like the Romans. Was the Romans, wasn't it?
Yes. They used a place called the Vomitorium, but that was for between courses.
You know, often used to wonder what all those governesses taught you. Well, now we know.
Ford, the trade unionist, is really quite civilized. I've seen him in action in a place not unlike this. And I know.
Yes, but if he's a Red.
He isn't. He'll be with us on this.
Oh, I'm not sure I like that either. Chap should play for his own side.
He'll do that, all right. More work for his members if we get the trading estate going. His wife may be a problem.
Not a lady, I take it.
A parlourmaid.
Well, at least she'll know about knives and forks.
Well, so anyway, Caroline can trot her out with the other mayors while we talk business over the port.
One delight after another. Oh, Daddy was sweet to me.
This fella Ford, he'll be no trouble.
I don't think so. But if he is, then God help us.
You know, Sir Horace, you sound almost afraid of him.
It's taken me a long time to realize it, but I rather think I am.
Yes, that was the year George bought the Gainsborough. I don't suppose you know what a Gainsborough is either.
No, I don't. But I know what you are. You're a bloody snob.
Excuse me, ladies. Bitches, aren't they?
Sorry.
Oh, please. No apologies. I only wish I had your courage. Oh, don't, my dear. It isn't the end of the world.
It is for me. When Jack finds out.
Your husband. Well, shall I fetch him?
Oh, no. Just let us go. Please, madam. Just let us go.
Mr. Ford.
Lady Caroline.
I'm afraid I have some unfortunate news for you. Your wife's gone home.
Those biddies in the drawing room.
I call them bitches. Biddies is much better.
I better get after her.
I shouldn't. She's much too afraid of you.
Afraid?
She was a parlourmaid, wasn't she?
She told you?
She called me madam. It was the way she said it.
Well, she's not a parlourmaid now.
She's not a lady either. But then that's her choice, Mr. Ford. Not yours.
Hello, Jack.
Jessie. Here's to your band.
Thanks. You're looking very grand.
Been dining with the Duke, Rayburn Castle.
You mean it?
It's true. Me and the wife.
Is she here?
No, she left early.
I see.
Aye, maybe you do. You're a clever girl, Jessie Seaton.
I don't want your troubles, Jack.
Neither do I, but I've got 'em. Troubles of your old, have you?
I came to hear Jimmy Maxton speak. I'm just waiting for my husband to take me home.
The socialist troubles, are they?
You're a clever one and all, Jack Ford.
Aye, and a fat lot of good it did either of us.
That'll do, Jack.
It'll have to, won't it? Here. Give your bairn this from me. This won't do, Ashton, won't do at all. Leaving your wife alone at this time of night. You wouldn't believe the riffraff that gets in here.
Mr. Ford, isn't it?
That's right.
Come to see the fun, have you?
Fun? Not tonight, Bonnie lad. I reckon I've seen it.
I said I'll manage. I always have, and I always will.
Lost prospects in London, chance of a lifetime, but he'd given his word. He stood by. Then he started again from the bottom.
From prison.
All right then, from prison. But look where he is now. He took us both with him.
He took you, Matt. I'm just somebody he got landed with.
Dolly, I know he's got his faults. We all have. But he's a good man. A generous man. He'll give you his last penny.
I want nothing from him. He hates me.
Hate? You're talking like the pictures.
I am not, man. He does.
Well, I've never seen it.
You're not with him all the time, are you? He wants rid of us.
Don't talk daft. You're his wife.
His wife, aye. But you're the one that fetched us back.
In the war.
God, Matt, not that bloody war again.
Listen, will ya? When I first joined, I knew nowt. And drunk my rough on the knot. Never out of trouble. Till Jack took us in hand. He's my corporal then. Sorted us out. Looked after us. If it hadn't been for Jack, I'd have been dead. That's the kind of man he is, a pal. A real pal.
Well, maybe you're the one that should have married him then.
Brotherly love, Matt.
Thought your wife looked very pretty at Daddy's little dinner.
She did.
An enchanting dress, which I'm quite sure you chose. And a quite mouth-watering opal. Rather a mistake to call yourself the Opal Land Corporation, wasn't it?
Aye, it was. What are you going to do?
Sell, why not? Horry will be furious.
Aye, he will.
You're not scared of him.
Terrified.
That's funny. He said he felt the same about you.
Well, that's all right then.
You get yourself a pair of glasses, ma'am.
For God's sake, woman!
Tom Seaton will tell your man the truth. Who were you out with?
Just a lass.
A lass with no name?
Not for you. Not yet.
You're doing something wrong. I know you are.
I don't think so. Now, it's late, ma'am.
You just hold on a minute. I'll go to bed.
I want to know what...
You heard what I said. Did you sell away off to bed?
I'll hit you.
Aye. You can still hit.
I'm sorry.
I'll live.
It's no use hitting grown men. You still go looking for trouble.
So, she's left me for you, is that it?
That's right.
Can you keep her?
I'm in work.
Why, the gardening. Under the circumstances, I think you and me better cancel our contract, don't you? Come to think of it, there mightn't be all that many contracts still standing. Not when folks find out you take care of the wife as well as the guard. Horry Manners' son was a company commander. My company commander. Good captain, nice man. He copped it at the Somme, poor devil. Shell burst. I held him in my arms and he looked at me and he said, "What am I doing here, Sergeant?" I said I'd dine at the Savile. And then he died.
You really do that awfully well, don't you?
It's true.
I believe you, bonny lad. But you still do it awfully well.
I do, don't I?
Money for the clinic.
Well, of course.
None for Dad and Tom and me.
If I have to...
Have to, of course you have to. It's a debt.
All right then, half for the family, half for the clinic.
None for Dr. Seaton.
There's nothing I need.
Then you're a very lucky man. It's nearly time for his feed. I'll tell Mum and Dad.
Jess, I was wondering,
Wondering what?
there's not many jobs open to us around here, even less since I joined the clinic.
Go on.
The Fitters Union. Jack Ford's still looking for a doctor for the compensation cases. Well, at least that's what I heard. I thought... Well, I just wondered if...
If I'd go and speak for you again, you've got a nerve.
Yes, I know I have. When you fight poverty and sickness the way I do, it's the first thing you need.
It's like this, Mara. There's a gardener's job at the castle if you wanted. Place for a parliamentary bailiffs. 3-room cottage thrown in. And the air there'll be good for young Tommy and all. Do you want it?
Why, of course I want it, but...
But what, Mara?
I thought you'd come to knock me block off.
I didn't like the way he called you Mara. Enough is enough.
Lady Caroline Summers and Mr. Ford to see Mr. Armstrong. I think you'll find we're expected. Well, girl?
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
You can't work with what you've got. I could walk or eat before I knew where it was. Apart from the breathing, like.
You're gonna have to stop, Mr. Mather.
Hey, I gotta stop, Doctor. I've got forward bends.
You've got to stop. You could die, man.
Aye. I survived Passchendaele. On the Somme, I'll survive this.
Who was it?
Chap called Stan Mather. Works at Lewis Bishop's. Or did.
Lewis Bishop, Manners' yard.
Aye. Manners would like it if you start a fight with him.
Manners will have to lump it then. Who's this, Mather?
He's a cousin of our Dolly's first husband.
And you investigated what happened?
Yes, I did. Accident, that's what it was. And if the other side tries suggesting different, they can forget it. I was there, I know. You can call me if you want.
Well, only if I have to. I know what it's like.
We all know what it's like. But Stan Mather's one of the best. A good soldier, good pal, a good man. And I want to see right done by him. I mean that.
In the army, weren't you?
Right through.
So was Whiteworth, Somme, Cambrai. I got shot, you know.
I do know. But you were discharged A1. Never seen another doctor from that day to this. Right, Stan?
Right, Jack.
Look, it's no good. I mean, this could finish us. I can't do it, Jack.
I think you can. And I'll tell you for why. Because if you don't, I'll shop you.
Don't talk daft. You can't.
Oh, yes, I can. I'll write to the, what's your union called again? Oh, aye, the British Medical Association. And I'll tell them we're not satisfied with you. And I'll tell them why. Because 4 days ago, you let a man with pleurisy go back to work. And because he was ill, he had an accident. And it killed him.
Jackman, that's marvellous.
You'd do that?
You know I would. Let's have those case notes, bunny lad. Bad news.
Bert's cousin.
Stan Mather, aye.
Oh, Matt wrote and told us. How is he?
Dying, maybe dead.
He was a lovely fella.
Aye, he was. And a real man and all.
He's left a widow and bairns.
4.
Poor soul. Will you get them anything? Compensation, like?
Every penny I can.
She'll need it.
Aye, she will, and she'll get it. I went to see him in the hospital. He talked about you. Said what a bonny lass you were. He thought we were still together. I didn't tell him different.
I'm glad. If he dies, you'll let us know.
Of course.
I want to send a wreath.
No. Leave that to me.
A wreath with our names on.
We want votes. Shipyard votes. We can't get them, but you can. Jack, I want you to speak for him.
Oh, I'm pretty busy, Stan.
Why, we're all busy, but why, you are a leader. I mean, like Jody, you've got obligations.
I'm an expert, Stan. Industry's my game, not politics.
Why, I know, but why the lads will listen to you?
The lads will listen to anybody that tells them what they want to hear. I'm sorry, Stan. Give Geordie my regards and tell him I'll be voting for him.
We want you to address a few meetings.
Talk to a hall full of women, I'd be terrified.
Not just women, Mr. Ford. We don't believe in that.
What do you believe in then, Mrs. Ashton?
Men and women working together. Equal partners, that's what we believe in. Working for social justice.
That's right.
But you want a man to speak to you?
We want an orator. Man or woman, doesn't matter.
That's what I am. An orator.
When you want to be, you know you are.
If you don't mind, Mrs. Ashton, I think I'd rather hear Mrs. Burns tell it.
We got to talking in the committee rooms. Geordie Watson's a good man. Talks well, means well.
Are we coming to the word but, Mrs. Burns?
Let her finish.
There's no fire there, Mr. Ford. The words don't lift you. Now I've heard you speak.
Have you?
Aye, I have. A couple of years back, that would be. You went to prison for it. No offence meant, Mr. Ford.
None taken, Mrs. Burns. Go on.
You'd been helping a poor widow in her bends. The landlord was going to take her furniture because she hadn't paid her rent. Only you stepped in and took it first. Saved it for her. And there in court, you stood up and made a speech. And there we all were listening. And by the time you finished, we were all up on our feet and cheering. And neither the magistrates nor the bobbies could stop us.
And I went to prison.
Aye, you did. But you're out now and working for us again. Only we need to hear you, Mr. Ford. We need your words. If you don't,
I'm listening.
I don't think Geordie Watson will get in.
So I want to appeal to you, friends. No. I want more than that. I want a solemn promise from each and every one of you. I want you to swear. I want your Bible oath. I want you to tell me, as you hope for salvation, that you will do what I ask. I don't want idle promises. I want your sacred word. Now then, who's willing to give me that word? God's honor, that come what may, you will go to the polls and vote for Geordie Watson. If it rains, if it sleets, if it snows, if you've got to crawl, if you've got to get your friends to carry you. Now, who among you is willing to give me your sacred word? Not one. Oh, ye of little faith.
I will.
And me.
Me too.
I will.
God bless you, friends. God bless you.
Thank you. You were great, Jack. Marvellous, even. But you weren't real.
You didn't ask for reality, Bonnie lass. You asked for votes. You've got 'em.
Yes, I should say thank you, and I do. All the same, I'm glad it's not your name on the ballot paper.
Never mind, thanks. You owe me 6 bob.
6 shillings? What for?
The first 6 hands that went up cost me a bob each. No, Geordie Watson shouldn't hear about bribery. And Stan Little would have a fit. This one's on the house, Mrs. Ashton.
Good evening, my dear. You're rather late.
Where's Mrs. Charlton?
I sent her home.
Did she give the baby his bottle?
No, I did that. Everything's been attended to. We can have our row in peace.
You had no right, absolutely no right.
But I had, Jessie.
Making me a laughing stock.
Then there are two of us.
Don't be ridiculous.
Laughing stocks are always ridiculous.
Why should you think you're a... Because of Jack.
Because of Jack. Second best can't help but be ridiculous. If it's shown to be second best. I believe in my party too, you know.
King and country. The rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate.
If you like.
You should remember how it goes on, Arthur. God made them high or lowly and ordered their estate. Estate means their station in life. It means if you're born poor, you stay poor.
Some of us, most of us, will always be poor. You and I, we're not in the rich man's castle, but we're not begging at his gate either. You should be grateful for that. It gives you the financial security you need.
For what?
To tear down the things I hold sacred.
Arthur, please. I'll beg you if you like. Please take down that poster.
You corrected me quite rightly today. I spoke of my house and you pointed out that it's ours. In our house, each of us is entitled to his or her political beliefs. So long as we both live in it.
Now what?
Somebody upstairs.
Get away.
I'll tell you there is. You'll stay here.
There I won't.
You heard what I said.
Why, it's only a babe.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Sit down and shut up or leave. You stand over here. Move yourself! By God, when I say jump, you jump. Now then, you and me's going to get the truth. And you can wet yourself all you want, Bonnie lad, because you're going to clean it all up afterwards anyway.
Doing that to a bairn. You should think shame.
Steady on, missus. He's a thief.
We're all thieves and we have to be. Did he have to be?
Me man's dead. Pneumonia. There's nowt coming in.
See anything, Matt?
Bottle of gin empty.
I didn't buy it.
Thieved that for you and all, did he? You have got a loving son.
I know that, mister.
But he mightn't be so loving if he goes to Borstal. He's had a good run, but it won't last. Lost his nerve already by the looks of him.
Thanks to you.
I don't want thanks, but maybe I deserve them. He tells me he can run.
Like a gazelle in the Bible.
And get him trained, missus. Powder Hall's a place for him.
Powder Hall?
Professional racing up in Edinburgh. There's money in it, missus.
Aye, there's fiddling and all. You and your Jimmy should do very canny. Take him home.
Go on.
Pet. I suppose I ought to thank you.
No, you're hungry. You had to eat, so you had to steal. But enough's enough. He's a good-looking lad. If he goes to Borstal, he'll come back a Nancy boy. Here. Look at us, Bonnie lad. Your last bundle of swag. But you can't have the cigarettes. They're bad for your wind.
Decent of you to turn out.
You said I had to present the prizes.
Had to. Did I really say had to? But why aren't you canvassing?
No need. I think we're in, Arthur.
Good God. What on earth's he doing here?
Ready? Steady! Like you said, missus, the lad's a flyer. Now don't you forget Powder Hall, and you be his manager.
He's a smashing fella, isn't he, man?
Mum, isn't he a smashing fella, I said?
You think so, do you? Aye, well, maybe you're right. I hope you don't end up like him, that's all.
Bit of work, brother.
Mr. Ford!
Come on.
I told you it'd come. I told you.
Oh, it's war, is it?
Not with one battalion, it's not. This time, the whole bloody army goes over the top.
I'll tell you how it is, General.
Jack?
Thanks, Matt. If our lads go on strike, Colfax will bring in scabs. Well, we can handle the scabs, I told you. Only you didn't want to know.
Well, maybe I've changed my mind.
All right. Durham Light Infantry, Northumberland Fusiliers, Tyneside Scottish, Tyneside Irish. We can handle the scabs.
But what you're saying...
I've said nought.
What you're implying, then, it's violence. I'll have no part in it.
And bugger off and leave the job to men.
Colfax wants to fight it.
Rightly.
He wants to win. In fact, he's asked me to make a bet with you, Port. £1,000 if you don't force the Union on him. £1,000 if you fail.
I see. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Colfax is an idealist.
Get away.
Oh, but he is. The last of the unregenerate capitalists. He believes in that. Believes in himself. Wants to go into politics, too. Colfax, the hammer of the unions. Not this time. This time you lose.
I haven't said I'll do it yet.
You will.
Why will I?
Soon you'll be in business for yourself. For that, you'll need capital.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Don't think too long.
You shouldn't be thinking at all. Not when you're drinking champagne. Champers is awfully bad for cogitation.
Then you must help us drink it, Lady Caroline.
I should think so. You've been neglecting it dreadfully. I didn't even know you were here.
Well?
I always say first thing in the morning is the time for paperwork.
You didn't come here to tell me that.
I didn't come here to tell you anything. I came to ask for something.
Then you've come to the wrong shop.
I've come here to ask you to allow unionised labour in this works.
No. Good day, Ford. I said good day.
I heard you. It'll get rough.
I don't give way to threats.
I'm not making any.
Then what are you doing?
Prophesying. If you don't let the union in, my union in, you'll have a strike.
My God, you're stupid. Strike. I'll lose 50 fitters. I'll hire 50 more and the strike will be over. Good day.
Not this time. You've scraped the barrel. Around 50 fitters left who haven't joined the union. I doubt if there's 10.
Then I'll take on those that are. I'm doing it now. But I won't have shop stewards and I won't pay union rates.
Then you'll still have a strike.
No. I'll bring in men from outside. I can get all the fitters I want if I pay their train fares.
You'd really do that?
I've done it before, 20 years ago.
Before the war?
Business is war, Ford. All that matters is to win.
Good day, Colfax.
You hear?
What I hear is irony. It's not an indictable offense.
Violence is when this man is plotting violence.
Am I?
Yes. You are. If I bring workers in from outside, you're going to have them assaulted.
You've been looking in your crystal ball again, Colfax. If you have, it's been lying to you. You should have it arrested.
Tell him.
It's not on, you know.
What isn't?
What Mr. Colfax saw in his crystal ball. Well, there's no harm in Mr. Colfax seeing things, but if they were ever to become a reality...
Go on.
If workers from outside were attacked, if there was violence, intimidation, the possibility of riot, I'd turn out every man I've got and have the Riot Act read. I'd meet force with more force. There'd be broken bones and broken heads. They wouldn't be my men. That's what I see in my crystal ball, Mr. Ford. It doesn't lie.
There'll be no riot. I'm obliged to you. You were never in the war, were you, Mr. Colfax? You spent it back here making dud shells. Well, I'll tell you something you don't know, seeing as how you weren't there. We lost Wipers, we lost the Somme, and we lost the Marne, thanks to you and the Germans. But we won the war. A 1,000. All in me hand, all at one time. Only me mother could see us.
What the devil are you playing at?
I didn't earn it, but from Colfax. Colfax had his own pet laptop back at headquarters, you said so yourself. And a champion job he did for Colfax and all. I didn't out. It had nothing to do with Colfax. It was your idea. You wanted to put me away, manners, bribery and corruption. I could do a canny bit time for that.
Don't be ridiculous, man. Why should I?
Because I've got some land you want. It'll be no good to me and Jug. Likely I'd have to sell it cheap to pay for my defence. Admit it, Manners. That was your money you were giving us. Colfax didn't put up a penny. Why should he? You were just trying to have me put away. And it's no good sulking, Manners. I mean what I say.
She'll be all right. It was appendicitis, like Billy said, but they operated in time.
Thank God.
You're looking very smart.
Aye, you're going away soon.
Going away? From Gather Shield?
No, just from the Union.
You mean to say those ungrateful beggars have got rid of you?
All the way around, Bonnie lass.
And what's that supposed to mean?
She's waking up.
All right. I want a word all the same. Hello, ma'am. Jessie. Here's Jack Ford come to see you.
What fettle, Bonnie lass?
Connie. I could do with a drop of gin, no. Hey, Jack, I was scared. Scared they were going to stick things in us.
I've been scared of that and all.
And they went and cursed just the same. How are you, Bonnie lad?
Canny.
Still getting on?
Still getting on. I'll just give her this and then I'll go.
Not before we've had that word.
Aye, all right. She bullies the lot of us.
Oh, that she doesn't. Just them that needs it.
Here. For you, Bonnie lass. Hurry up and get well.
Oh, Jack. It's beautiful. Look, Jessie, it's fit for a queen.
It was a queen I bought it for. What can I do for you?
It's a sort of favour.
Oh, aye.
Hey, me and Dolly,
You can tell me, Tom.
we want to get married.
But she is married, how can you?
If you divorced her, we could.
Divorce? What's a big thing, Tom? Takes a lot of thinking about, does that?
Oh, it's asking a lot, I know, but...
You're right, it is. And who were you thinking would be the guilty party?
Sorry?
Who's doing the adultery? You two?
Well, of course. Well, I mean...
Aye, I know what you mean, all right.
I'm sorry, Jack, only I've got to tell you this. There's a bairn on the way.
What?
Dolly's expecting.
You bloody liar!
It's true, Jack.
True? It can't be true, and you know it. Or didn't she tell you? Dolly can no more have a bairn than you can.
Jack,
That's why she went after yours.
Jack, will you listen?
Get on your feet and I'll flatten you. Dolly had a miscarriage.
I know, man, she told us.
And did she tell you the doctor said she could never be pregnant again?
Aye, she did. The doctors were wrong, Jack. I'm telling you the truth. You've only got to look at her, man. That's another reason we want to get married.
Well, well. Well, 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 well. So, it's congratulations, is it?
I hope so.
Aye. And you want a divorce?
We do, Jack. Yes.
But you don't want her being the guilty party, man. It's a terrible thing for a woman, that. All that evidence, dirt in the Sunday papers.
There's no help for it.
Why, there is, Bonnie lad. There's me.
You've done nothing.
There's ways, Mara. Women you can hire. Weekend in Scarborough and a private detective catches her in a camisole. Dolly's name would hardly be mentioned. Yours wouldn't be mentioned at all. Make your mum feel a lot better that way.
Why should you do that, Jack? Like you said yourself, divorce is a big thing.
Learned a bit sense when you were in Jogue, didn't you, Tom? Or has Dolly been teaching you? I wouldn't be doing it for nothing, Mara.
My dad says he'll put up what's needed.
Not money, Tom. I'll take care of that. You want me to do you a favor? Well, I want a favor from you. Well, won't you sit down? A bit early for you, I suppose.
Far too early. Jack, are you sober?
Not very. You've come to ask me for something.
What makes you think so?
You never come for aught else.
It's Tom.
I thought it might be.
You're going to blow up Mandrake Place.
Well, nothing so drastic. Just collapse the foundations, that's all. Let nature take its course.
But Tom's going to do it.
One good turn deserves another, Jessie.
He could be killed.
He could. Or he could live happy ever after. Him and Dolly and his bairn and theirs.
So that's why you're doing it. And for heaven's sake, stop drinking. I'm trying to talk sense.
If you want to nag, Jessie, try your husband, but just remember that's not me.
You had your chance.
And I muffed it. Now Tom's got his.
You always did know how to hurt.
I was talking to a duke the other day. We were discussing morals. We reckoned he didn't have any. And neither did I. But I like people, Jessie, and I like liking them. Does that make sense, school teacher?
So far.
Trouble is, I like me count square and all.
You're saying Tom hurt you?
You know he did.
I know he hurt your pride. Are you still set on leaving the Union?
I'll leave next week. I'm going to be a boss, Jessie Seaton. A bourgeois, even if it kills us.
It was bound to happen eventually. I always knew deep down.
I said I'd build you a palace once, remember? And you said you hoped the palace would have beer in it if your mum came to stay.
I remember.
I meant it, no.
But you'll still do nothing for Tom.
Tom's looking out for his own, for his woman, for his bairn.
And who are you looking out for, Jack?
There's only me, Bonnie lass. It's all clear, Tom?
Uh-huh. I don't need you, Jack.
Interesting. Educational, this is.
You bugger off, man.
Tell us what you're going to do.
I just connect up this other terminal and give it a good twist.
That's all.
That'll be enough.
Toss you for it.
No fear, this is my job.
I'm not doing this for you, Bonnie lad. This is for Dolly. For the bairn, the one that's coming.
I gave you my word, Jack.
And you kept it, you hear? It was my fault. You took a woman off us. Never could stand that. Well, I was wrong.
I was wrong and all. You know I was.
So we're both wrong. So we'll toss for it. Dolly be no use without a man. We both know that. Give it a chance, Bonnie lad. Call.
Heads.
You lose. Off you go.
You cheated us, Jack.
Don't talk daft. You lost. Now bugger off.
All right, then. So long, Jack.
So long, Mara.
I beg pardon, miss. Have you seen Jack? Mr. Ford?
No. It's very odd. He said he was going to meet me here. Too bad if he missed it. After all, it is his show.
Jessie Seaton, Jessie Seaton. Why did you have to have a brother? Dear God.
Dance to the daddy, sing to the mommy, dance to the daddy, to the mommy, sing.